Welcome to Part E. Palace Software would return this year with the original beat-em-up with swords. Forget your Soul Caliburs. In 1987 it was all about Barbarian, the ultimate warrior. The game had you play one or two players, where the purpose was to beat up your opponent before they did. Or you could go for the risky headshot mode for the instant kill. The game was great fun, but it was its cover and advertising that caused the biggest stir, with a semi-naked Maria Whittaker on the cover. Oh, and also there was the chap who would go on to be the UK gladiator, Wolf, from the TV show. They would follow Barbarian up with a sequel in 1989 called Barbarian 2, The Dungeon of Drax. This again was more of the same, but having a much more a scrolling battle theme, having you take on different creatures. In 1988, Target Renegade, a home sequel to Renegade, had you kick and punch your way through the enemies to rescue your girl. The game was as close as kids could get to Double Dragon in the home, with it being a few years yet before the home conversion would arrive. By 1987, Roberta Williams at Sierra had become queen of the graphic adventure game, with a string of her quest games now including Space Quest and Police Quest. But over in LucasArts, Ron Gilbert felt that he could do better. He hated the way that Roberta would have the characters constantly die if you did anything wrong, and he felt it constrained the humour and experimentation. He also added keywords at the bottom of the screen, saving you having to type them in constantly. The game he would write was called Maniac Mansion, and to make the game easier to write, he put together a game editor with Alec Wilmunder, which they called the Script Creation Utility for Maniac Mansion, or SCUM for short. The game itself was a brilliant parody of the 1950s B-movie, involving mad scientists, dismembered tentacles, and a series of madcap buddies for you to control, meaning that there was actually multiple game endings. Well, there you have it, and what a ride this episode's been. So please join me in the next episode where we look at the 8-bit twilight years and the birth of competition in the console market. So until next time, see you later.